Biden sues Texas over new law making illegally crossing the border an arrestable offense. Let me tell you something, guys. Article 4, Section 4. Shout out to Josie, the redhead libertarian. Constitutional scholar. Article 4, Section 4 says the federal government must defend states from invasion from outside forces. And here we are witnessing 10,000 people per day storming, invading Texas. It's an invasion. In fact, MSNBC was shocked by it. That's what really got me watching an MSNBC reporter be like, my God, I've never seen anything like this. The Biden administration is fighting against the Constitution and the law. Now, I ask you, how is it that the Biden administration is getting away with shitting on the Constitution, spitting on the laws of the country and the state? How is it possible? You ask, how do we win against a system that is corrupt? It's not about a system. It is not about numbers in a book, codification. It is about how many people agree with your worldview and how many don't. And right now we're at the point where Joe Biden has under his command men and women who are willing to do whatever he says, regardless of whether or not they are serving or opposing the United States. I see this story, and I think it's really plain to see. The DOJ has gone rogue. They are acting against the Constitution, which says they must defend against invasion. They are facilitating invasion, aiding and abetting outside forces who harm this country. That is sedition. And so as we witness this, we wonder, how is it possible that the federal government has people within it? Because it's not the entirety of the FBI. It's like the DC Bureau. There are FBI agents in other parts of the country that are fine. How is it that these people are able to engage in sedition? There are no good men or women willing to stand up and say, you are rogue, you are criminals. Police officer at a local police department in New York, hypothetical, robs a bank, steals the cash and walks out. And he says, I'm a cop. What are you going to do about it? Well, Internal Affairs shows up and says, we're here to arrest you. And he goes, oh, heavens me, oh no, I've been caught. Law enforcement got me. One day, the police chief himself for the entire NYPD decides to rob a bank. And he does. And he says, I'm the chief of everybody. What are you going to do about it? And they go, oh, gee golly, what do we do? The FBI shows up. They arrest the cop. There's a law enforcement agency above superseding. In the Biden administration, there's nobody. They are the highest level, and they are committing criminal acts against the people of this country every single day. And you need only look to the people of Chicago to see that they're outright saying crimes are being committed against us. The victims are apparent. And many of these migrants are victims as well, being promised glory when they come here and then dying in the desert. Texas says this is illegal and we will stop it. Federal law says this is illegal and we must stop it. A Border Patrol agent turned away illegal immigrants before they entered the U.S., and he is now under investigation by the feds. A man who did the right thing and said, you got to turn around. You can't come in the country. And the feds are now going after him. So when I talk about how you win this, there's only one way you win it. A federal law enforcement officer that is willing to engage in a seditious conspiracy against the government, against this country, working with the government, I suppose. I think it's fascinating that people ask me how civil war could happen. And I'll tell you this very, very simply. When federal law enforcement agents are engaged in a seditious conspiracy to violate they're violating the Constitution and abetting an invasion at our southern border, you need to ask me how a civil war could happen?